Welcome to Build Your House Yourself University by HiU. We've made it to episode 84. I'm Michelle Nelson, your host and fellow student, and together we'll learn the basics of home design and construction and demystify the building process so we can make smart decisions and build quality dream homes with or without a general contractor. This week, we'll go over the pros and cons of different types of swimming pools in hopes of helping you decide whether your dream house should include a pool, and if so, what kind. We'll compare vinyl, fiberglass, and concrete pools this week, and next week we'll go over different sanitation systems, including chlorine, salt water, and ultraviolet light systems. Let's begin today's lesson by briefly going over how a pool might impact the resale value of your house. Swimming pools are obviously more popular in warmer regions, including areas like Florida and Texas here in the U.S. In areas where swimming pools are common, homes with pools typically have higher resale values when compared to similar homes without pools. And when pools are a common amenity within a neighborhood, you can often recoup your initial installation costs when it comes time to sell. But if you live in an area where swimming pools are not the norm, a pool may discourage potential buyers. You may have a more difficult time selling your house, and you probably won't get back all of the money that you initially invested in your pool. In short, a pool is a great selling point for those buyers who really want and expect one, and it can be a great deterrent for buyers who don't. Whether you think a pool is a good investment, or you know it's not a great investment in your area, but you want to install one anyway, because of the fun and enjoyment it will provide for you and your family, it's important to evaluate your options so you choose the type of pool that's best for your budget and lifestyle. Let's start by talking about above-ground pools. Above-ground pools are the easiest and cheapest to construct. They're typically built from prefabricated kits. Although ambitious DIYers can install above-ground pools, most homeowners hire professionals to do the job. The first step for installation of an above-ground pool is leveling the ground. The pool is then assembled on top of that flat surface. Next, the outer wall of the pool is erected. It's made of metal, plastic, or wood. A vinyl liner is then placed over the pool wall, and the pool is filled with water. The liner is then smoothed out and fastened into place. The pump and filtering system are then hooked up, and the pool is pretty much ready to use. That quick and easy assembly process and the budget-friendly price tag are the main advantages of an above-ground pool. Plus, they're easy to disassemble and move to a new location. The main disadvantage of an above-ground pool is that it's less durable than other designs. Above-ground pools might last up to 15 to 20 years before the structure gives out, but the pool liner needs to be replaced every 5 to 10 years. The other disadvantage, many argue, is that above-ground pools are less attractive than in-ground models. Next, let's talk about in-ground pool options. First on our list is vinyl-lined in-ground pools. Vinyl-lined in-ground pools are structurally very similar to vinyl above-ground pools, but they look more like conventional in-ground pools. The installation entails a construction crew digging a hole and placing a metal frame around the perimeter of the hole. That frame is then covered by a vinyl lining similar to the above-ground pool assembly. Here are the pros of a vinyl in-ground pool. Number 1, low initial cost. Vinyl in-ground pools have the lowest initial cost of any of the 3 in-ground pool options. Number 2, numerous pool shapes and sizes are available. There are no limitations to the length, width, and depth of an in-ground vinyl pool. Many standard shapes are available, and you can even order custom shapes and sizes. Number 3, vinyl pools are non-abrasive. Vinyl liners are smooth to the touch. so they won't damage you if you accidentally scrape your skin on the sides of the pool. If you've ever had your skin scraped or scratched by a concrete pool, you know how nice it is to have a smooth pool surface. Number 4, vinyl inhibits algae growth. Vinyl is relatively non-porous, so it inhibits algae. This means fewer sanitizing chemicals are needed, which means money saved. Number 5, quick installation. The average-sized vinyl in-ground pool can be installed in 1 to 3 weeks. So those are the pros. Here are the cons of a vinyl in-ground pool. Number 1, higher lifetime cost. A vinyl liner will last 7 to 15 years, but on average needs to be replaced every 5 to 10 years. Replacement liners cost $3,000 to $4,000, plus the cost of adding water back to the pool. Many liners have a 20-year warranty, but those warranties are usually prorated, so the amount you'll receive if the manufacturer has to pay you for damage, that amount decreases over time. Number 2, you have to be careful in a vinyl pool. Because vinyl pools can be damaged much more easily than fiberglass or concrete pools, you'll have to be careful about the types of activities that occur in the pool. Dog claws, sticks, and sharp toys can potentially cause damage to vinyl pools. If you have rowdy kids or dogs that like to swim, a vinyl pool is probably not the best choice for you. Number 3, lower resale value. If you want to sell a house with a vinyl in-ground pool, you may be asked to replace the liner if it's more than 3 or 4 years old. And if you refuse, you may get less money for your house, or you may turn off potential buyers altogether. Next on our list is concrete pools. Concrete pools are the most common in-ground pools in the U.S., and they're also the most expensive. They're made of concrete, either in the form of gunite or shotcrete. Gunite and shotcrete are terms that are often used interchangeably, and although they're similar, they're not exactly the same. Both gunite and shotcrete are made by mixing cement, sand, and water, and both produce a strong concrete pool. Shotcrete and gunite pools start out the same way. A hole is dug and plumbing is put into place. The walls of the pool are constructed with rebar, which are steel rods, and those rods are wired together. Then either shotcrete or gunite are sprayed or shot onto the steel framework with a pressurized hose or gun. The main difference between gunite and shotcrete is the stage at which the water is added. Shotcrete is a ready-made wet mixture that has been prepared by the manufacturer. In other words, water is added before the shotcrete is transported to the job site. The wet shotcrete is then poured into a pump and applied to the pool framework. Gunite is a dry mixture that's mixed manually with water on the job site through a nozzle. The water and dry gunite are mixed at the job site by the hose operator, so the water-cement ratio has to be controlled by the operator. Compared to a shotcrete pool, a gunite pool is more prone to operator error, since the gunite is mixed by the crew instead of by the manufacturer. After the gunite or shotcrete are mixed and sprayed over the framework, the pool concrete is smoothed with a trowel and it sits for a week or two to cure. When the concrete is cured, the inside surface of the concrete pool is finished with plaster, concrete paint, or a pebble surface. The most popular finish is plaster, which is a mix of cement and marble sand. Concrete pools can also have a tile or even a fiberglass finish. Let's move on to a list of pros of concrete pools. Number 1, great flexibility in pool design. Not only can concrete pools be any size, shape, or depth, but you can add interesting features like infinity edges, beach entries, and tanning ledges. Number 2, concrete pools are durable and long-lasting. They can last for decades, and they're literally as hard as a rock, so rowdy kids and dog paws are unlikely to damage concrete pools. Number 3, they're beautiful and considered a luxury. Concrete pools can really add to the beauty of your landscape. And in areas where pools are common, concrete pools are considered the top of the line. Now let's talk about the disadvantages of concrete pools. Number 1, high initial and lifetime cost. Concrete pools usually have the greatest initial cost of all in-ground pools. Plus, every 10 to 20 years, concrete pools need to be resurfaced. Each resurfacing can cost up to $10,000 or even more. Number 2, more chemicals and maintenance are needed to maintain a clean pool. Because concrete pools are very porous, algae can grow more easily in them than other types of pools. As a result, more chemicals and filtration are required to prevent algae. In addition, concrete pools need to be frequently swept with a pool brush to remove algae from the pool surface. Number 3, longer installation time. Concrete pools usually take 2 to 4 months to install. That's compared to the installation time of just a few weeks for vinyl or fiberglass in-ground pools. Speaking of fiberglass, that's next on our list. Fiberglass pools are factory-made from fiberglass that's been molded into different pool shapes. Fiberglass is reinforced plastic material that's comprised of resin that's been embedded with glass fibers. To install a fiberglass pool, a construction crew digs a hole that's approximately the size of the pool. They then install the necessary plumbing and add some sand as filler. Then they lower the preformed fiberglass pool structure into place. The pool is then leveled and hooked up to the plumbing. The empty pockets around the pool are backfilled with sand or dirt, and then a deck made of concrete, pavers, or some other material is placed around the pool. There are several advantages to fiberglass pools. Number 1, they're low maintenance. The surface of a fiberglass pool shell is non-porous, so it inhibits the growth of algae. As a result, you'll need fewer sanitizing chemicals to maintain the pool, which will save lots of money over the lifetime of the pool. Another reason that fiberglass is a low-maintenance option is that the fiberglass pool doesn't need to be resurfaced like concrete pools do, and there's no vinyl liner to be replaced. Number 2, fiberglass is a non-abrasive surface. The surface of a fiberglass pool is smooth to the touch. Number 3, quick installation and quality. Fiberglass pools are manufactured in a climate-controlled factory environment, so there are fewer potential errors in the construction of the pool as compared to pools built on site. And because the shell of the pool is pre-made in a factory, including built-in seats and steps, pool installation is relatively quick, 3 to 5 weeks on average. Now, let's talk about the disadvantages of a fiberglass pool. Number 1, limited shapes and designs. Because fiberglass pools are built in a factory, from a mold, they come in limited shapes and sizes. And most models are usually no wider than 16 feet. That's because fiberglass pools are shipped on trucks, and there are shipping restrictions that limit the width of the fiberglass pool shell to 16 feet. And number 2, pool repairs may not match the original pool color. A fiberglass pool that is improperly manufactured or installed may develop cracks. Cracks can also develop due to high impact forces such as earthquakes or dropping heavy objects into the pool. When damage is done, repairs can usually be made, but the material used to do the repairs may not exactly match the original pool color. So, those are our pool options. Let me say a final word about cost. The average cost of AboveGround and InGround pools that I found online varied considerably. For example, one online source said that the average InGround pool cost in the range of $25,000, and another source said the average was around $45,000. Of course, as you may expect, Prices will vary depending on the size and shape and the material of the pool and your location. But in general, above-ground pools generally cost thousands of dollars, and in-ground pools usually cost tens of thousands of dollars. And the average size of an above-ground pool is about 19 feet in diameter, while the average size of an in-ground pool is around 30 by 15 feet. All right, that's it for our mini lesson. Let's do a couple of quiz questions to see what you learned. Number 1, which is not an advantage of fiberglass pools? A, they come in unlimited shapes and sizes. B, they have a smooth surface, so they're not likely to cause abrasions. C, they're low maintenance. Or D, they resist algae growth. The answer is A. Fiberglass pools do not come in unlimited sizes and shapes. They're factory made and need to be transported by truck, so pool sizes and shapes are limited. Number 2. True or false? Vinyl liners need to be replaced every 5 to 10 years. That's true. On average, vinyl liners, whether they're above ground or in-ground vinyl pools, need to be replaced every 5 to 10 years. And the replacement liners cost about $3,000 to $4,000. After you decide what type of pool structure you want, you'll have to decide what type of system you want to keep your pool free of bacteria. The most common systems are chlorine, saltwater, and ultraviolet light. We'll go over those options next week. So make sure you're subscribed to the podcast so that episode and future episodes will automatically be downloaded to your device. That's it for today. Thank you for listening. I hope you learned as much as I did, and I hope you'll join me again for the next episode of Build Your House Yourself University by HiU. Please remember that the purpose of this podcast is simply to educate and inform. It's not a substitute for professional advice. The information that you hear is based only on the opinions, research, and experiences of my guests and myself. That information might be incomplete, it's subject to change, and it may not apply to your project. In addition, building codes and requirements vary from region to region, so always consult a professional about specific recommendations for your home.